Hello, everybody. Welcome to Africana TV. I'm your host, Ayodele Odeyemi. You know what you call me, AY the Senator. And today, who do we have in the studio? Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome the one and only Emily Andrew Smith, and also the Minister of Art, Culture, and Heritage. Welcome.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. I always love the introduction you give myself. Thank you for having me on the show again.
Thank you for coming and honoring our invitation. Viewers, you will remember not quite long we had the minister on the show.
Right.
And it came in not only to bring good tidings, it came in with a big jumper pack of a grant that was coming. And shortly after then, the premier did announce a big funding for the community, for art, for culture, for a lot of things. $100 million funding. Wow, I say. And today, the minister is here to let you know the fund is ready to be grabbed. Tell us a little bit about this 100 million grant funding.
Of course. Well, thank you. I mean, it's called the ACSC Fund. So, Arts, Culture, and Sport and Community Fund. So we created it with $100 million going right into our communities. And the reason we created it is we knew that after COVID, a lot of community groups were suffering. Right?
True.
They were struggling probably even before COVID, particularly after COVID. So this fund is $100 million spread over 3 years.
Okay, let me get it. The $100 million is spread across 3 years.
Correct.
Okay.
So this year, year one, it's $34 million.
Oh, $34 million. I think the year remains just 5 more months ago.
Exactly.
Oh.
So get your applications in. We'll talk about what this means. Okay?
Wow.
So
Wow. Okay, keep going.
Very, very simple. Large capital, we provide money up to $5 million for community groups. That will require matching from the community groups because it's a lot of money, but up to $5 million.
Okay.
We have small capital and special initiatives that are in one stream together, and they're up to $300,000.
5 million.
It's for the first large capital.
Large capital.
Yeah.
300,000
for the small capital.
for the small
special
capital.
initiatives. So small capital, obviously we know what small capital is, but special initiatives are like new programming. So if you have an organization that wants to put new programming in, special initiatives is perfect for you.
Okay.
There'll be a matching requirement, but that's a sliding scale. Depends on how much you get from us.
Okay.
And then there's a small community festivals fund, which is up to $5,000, and you get $5,000 for a community festival, celebration, whatever it is you want. You have to apply for it, of course. Just give us your application, and it's a fairly straightforward application to fill out. We want to make sure the barriers are lower for community groups to apply for it.
Wow. Wow.
I knew, and I know the Premier knew, that after COVID, there was absolute struggle in the communities. We knew that. You could see coming out, it was hard to get volunteers. It's hard to raise money because people, a lot of your former donors, maybe are financially struggling
You're so
themselves.
right on that.
So that's right. And then you know yourself, right? That's been very difficult to get this. We're using this as money to try and get folks back on their feet, not only to survive, but to thrive.
True.
That's the idea. So remember, it's only 3 years long, so we got to get your application in. I'd like to see us very successful this year, because if we have a good, successful first year, second and third year become easier. I don't want any money to be left on the table. I want it to get into the community. So get out there and apply for it. Application opened last Tuesday, and large capital, October 31st is the deadline.
Okay. For large capitals that could get up to $5 million.
Exactly.
The application should be in before October
31st. And preferably before that, like just before the deadline. I see a lot of times folks apply for grants and they apply last minute. And if there's something missing in an application, it could disqualify the whole
There
thing.
will be no time to adjust.
Please don't do that to us. We'd like to see it come in. We want successful applications coming in. I want this project to be successful because I think it's a good initiative. I need your help now to come back and apply. And if you have any questions, we do have folks who can answer those questions. I know it's a brand new program, brand new grant, so there'll be a lot of questions. I totally anticipate that.
No, sorry, I have to interject. You said you have people to help if you do need help.
There's folks too. So what we'll do is I'll have contact the office.
Okay.
And there's folks that can answer questions about the application, about whether or not you may qualify with the particular project that you're asking about. So reach out to us. We want to make sure this is successful. Other grant programs have the same opportunities. You can reach out to folks. We'll do the same. So the Building Sustainable Communities Fund, very familiar with, I'm sure. We've modeled it after that, but just with a focus on arts, culture, and sport.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have been having series of questions from the community, especially the African Caribbean community that have big organizations, small growing organizations that have been doing initiatives, cultural festivals, and they have been applying for grants, applying for support, for funds, and they said they've been denied. In fact, they've never been considered. They thought you're one-sided from the government and just looking at the other color. They're not visible minority. And I said to myself, how come? What has been the issue? Is it because their application was not filled properly? Is it because they don't like their name, or what exactly is it? And you just stressed just now that if the application is not well filled out, if there's something missing in the application, what will happen?
Well, that's a problem. I mean, I don't know specifically about the other applications you're referring to, but I do know, I've seen it even in my community, groups that have applied, if they make a mistake on the application, if they're not clear enough on their intentions even, sometimes that can get disqualified. So just be careful when you apply to make sure you're very clear on what you want.
And you do say that you have people that can help to see if they qualify and how
if you
they
have
could get it
questions,
right.
let's put it this way. I got to be very careful what I say. You can ask us questions, and people will be able to answer the questions, right? Any questions you might have about the application.
Okay.
Right? So if you have any questions, we'll provide the contact information of people you can talk to and ask about that.
Because that will be helpful, especially to people that are organizations that have been trying over and over and have this, hope that it seems we're not loved here.
I'll tell you what. So I've had an organization in my community. I won't name who they are. Great organization, right? They're a broader community organization, and they didn't. They applied for funding under another grant, but they didn't provide the fact that they had their own money as matching. Just because they didn't put that in the application, they got disqualified from otherwise a great project.
Wow.
So it just gotta be careful. We make it very clear. So I always say, look, if you have any questions, always ask. And if you get your applications in early or you start early, you might be able to catch your own mistakes too, right? Nothing worse than the night before you see guys trying to submit their application in. It's due at 11:59.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Please don't, because that's how things sometimes get missed, and then there's a trouble.
We will be scrolling on the screen. We'll have a number that you can contact from the minister's office that you could ask questions. I know it's going to give us that number to their office, and also there's a website where you can apply. Tell us about this, where people can go to get the right information, the right application, and submit on time. Give us a little bit information about this.
Well, we have an online portal, so you have your applications right there. So the 3 streams, you click on the stream you want. It tells you a description, and you actually have a PDF of the application form right there. So you fill it out. So I encourage you, even if you're not ready to submit right now, because remember, October 31st is not that far away.
No.
Go on there and see what's needed. Make sure you have what's needed. Make sure you get it ready in time. Because for a large capital, we both know asking for $5 million is going to be a lot of
processes
homework to do.
And homework to do. Yeah.
Absolutely. So now the small capital though, and special initiatives, that's due on September 26th.
Not far away too.
Not far away too. And then the small community festivals, it's quarterly. So you just apply whenever.
That is quarterly.
That's quarterly. We assess it quarterly internally. You won't even know it. All you'll see is you just apply, and then you'll get a letter in the mail. As long as you just fill the application up properly, I don't see any issues with it. I mean, it should be the easier of the 3 streams to get approved for.
And that is to the tune of $5,000, if I'm correct?
Up to $5,000.
Up to $5,000.
Right. So if you have a community fest, I'm thinking, let's see, Canada Day, and some group wants to do a Canada Day celebration, they can submit their application and get up to $5,000 for that.
True. And there's one question. I saw it online that you have to have a checklist. They said this grant is not for everybody. It's for NGOs, corporations,
Non-profit.
non-profit.
Non-profit you can't be a for-profit corporation or company. No.
Okay.
Has to be non-profit.
So it has to be non-profit.
Exactly. What we do is even for the small community festivals, we don't want to be giving money to folks that are going to profit off it. That's taxpayer money. It wants to go to folks who need it, not folks who can profit off it.
I think that should be stressed more because, as you said, it's for community building and not for profit.
Exactly.
So then that is the essence and reason behind you giving it to the non-profit organizations.
Having said that, companies want to help and participate. They can do that. If a non-profit applies,
Okay.
a private company can give money to the project as matching funds, right? If there's 50% requirement matching, which there is for big capital,
Okay.
then you're going to need other sources of income other than the provincial government.
Oh.
So private companies can give if they really want to be generous and say, we're going to help with this project. They can provide that extra 50 or help you provide that extra 50, the other 50%.
I never see that coming. So that is one big way to find your way to the big funding. Like if you have a big capital project, you have a small, not too large capital project, you just have to get maybe a matching
Exactly.
amount from a private company to support.
You can get private. The matching requirements can be private and other levels of government. It can't be from the province again. So you can't get from the province twice for the same project.
Okay.
But let's say you got a project you're going to build, I don't know, Afrikanet is going to build a big community center. Okay?
Yeah.
So then you get other private donors to come in. We give up to $5 million. Say it's a $5 million project. Our $10 million project, we're going to get $5 million from the province. You're going to have to go out and get private and probably other levels of government. So the city and the federal government can then give as well.
Oh.
So you can leverage other groups to say, hey, look, we got 50% here. We can get 50%. We need you to provide that. Now that's got to be in the application though. So you got to make sure you got that established before you apply.
So, listeners, you need to get this right. The minister has been magnanimous enough to express and explain how you can get this done. If you're going for the large capitals and the small initiatives, that is between 300,000 to 5 million, it's easy to get. All you need to do, have the matching donors from either the private sector or not the province, but other
Levels of government.
And voila, you get the money.
Yeah.
Wow, that is easy.
Well, easy, yeah. Make sure your application's filled up properly as well. That's another one. They want to make sure you got your due diligence, right? There's all kinds of issues when you ask for big money. But, I mean, that's why I said, get your application, at least start it now, right? You got something on the go, start now.
Right. The application opened last week. That is August 16th, and it's already almost a week. So I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why you're still complaining. If you have a festival coming up, within this next month, get those applications in because $5,000, that is huge. It could do a lot. And you just need some extra here and there, and you have to bring smiles to the community. We want our community to be bubbling. We want our community to be excited. We want to bring back those beautiful things that we do before COVID. And that's why we have to applaud this government, especially your ministry, for bringing this big initiative. This is a commendable one. You know me, I'm a straight talker. I need to commend when you do something well. You did well on this one.
Thank you.
And hopefully everyone that need this one, we have the application filled. Right here I got mine. So my application is right here, and I'm going to fill every bit of it on time, and I'm going to call the number you see on the screen to ensure, please, am I missing anything before I submit? Because once you submit, they might not call you back. So get this application filled properly, submit it. Before you submit, check it very well, ask questions, numbers to call. We will display it on the screen, and the website to go to get it access online. We will put it on the screen too. And before you go, you always do something fun for us. I'm gonna give you something. But before that fun part,
Okay.
there is one other thing. School will be resuming soon,
Correct.
and the young ones are going to be heading back to school. We need something to give back to them. Part of them, I have this young initiative called the Voice of the Voiceless that is
Right.
coming soon, and they really want to be there. They want to bring all their high school people to this. They want to be there to advocate. Do they qualify for things like this?
As long as they're a non-for-profit,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
got to fall under art, sport, culture, or
And-
heritage, right?
Right.
So it would depend on the project. I want to confirm anything right now, but if they have something that falls under the umbrella of art, sport, or culture,
Culture.
and then they are a non-for-profit, then that may be something they could apply for.
There you have it.
Right.
Do not ask me directly. I just put it. I put him under that. He didn't see that coming, and he said it. So far, you fall under that, then you can assess it.
And you bring a good point. So let's say you want to do an initiative at a school, because you talked about schools. Schools can't apply, but the parent councils can.
Look at that.
So
School cannot apply, but
Parent councils can apply.
parent and councils
Yeah.
can apply. So there is always a way in and out of this. You can just ask the right question and you get the right answer. Go apply for the fund. I don't want anybody calling me again like, oh, we're not getting it. Watch this over and over. If you miss it, please go back to our YouTube channel, watch and listen to every bit of information. One more time, can you please give us the 4 points that people need to get right in applying for this one? Just run it down one more time.
Just like I said, when you go on the website, find the stream you want,
Okay?
that you want to apply for, make sure you read the application. Make sure you know you're qualified. Make sure you read it very carefully to ensure you fill it out properly. Answer the questions they ask. Make sure you're very clear on what it is you have, what you want to do.
If you're not clear, call and ask questions.
You can always ask questions there, yes. And I imagine we're going to get a lot of phone calls, so start earlier,
Okay?
better, right? I'd also want to say this, that I've been doing a number, and this is my first interview with African Ed, but there's another number of other interviews I'm going to be doing
Okay.
with ethnocultural groups. I've been outreaching to community groups right across the province from a variety of different backgrounds, because I want to make sure they're all aware of this stuff. Often happens, governments announce a major program and no one knows about it, right? If you don't watch I don't know who watches the news as much anymore, but some people still do. They'll miss it, right, if they don't see it at that particular time. Especially younger generation, social media is great,
Yes.
but if it comes up in the feed and they miss it, it's missed.
It's missed.
I want to make sure people know about it and they can apply for
And that's why you've been going round every ethnocultural
groups.
groups
All
to
kinds of
announce.
community groups.
Wow.
All kinds of community groups.
Wow.
I have colleagues that are going to have me go to rural Manitoba and talk to their communities as well, say how you apply for it. I want to make sure this is open for communities.
Oh, I missed that. So it's not about Winnipeg, it's for the entire Manitoba province.
Yeah.
So either you're from Gilbert Plain, you're from
Thompson,
Winnipeg, Brandon, everyone can apply.
Yep,
Oh,
exactly.
I didn't know that. Do you see that? It doesn't matter where you are. It's not a Winnipeg thing. It's a Manitoba thing. Every non-profit organization, wherever you are in
That's
Manitoba,
sport, culture, heritage related though.
and it is sport, culture, and heritage related. Stressed it. Sport, culture,
The
heritage.
project has to
Project
have
have to have that.
Yeah.
If you're making the community bubble, you like to make everyone do something, dance, eat, make sure you apply for this fund, and 34 million is up for grab just this year. Don't miss it. Thank you one more time for coming
Absolutely,
on the
appreciate it,
program.
yeah.
We love to have the minister on here. I don't know what I have to make you do. There's this song that's popular. Let me see you do low, 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 low. Let me see you low, low. Then you do booga. I will type 1, 2, 3. Follow me. Let me see you low, 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 low. Let me see you. Then you face them. Booga. He has booga them. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned and watch again. Subscribe and like and share for others to enjoy this great information. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye, everyone.
And with that.